Starfield is a massive... This is Colteastwood. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Starfield and Bethesda. They've been very quiet about what they've been working on, but they've got some good news and some bad news. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content, and let's see what Bethesda has to say about exclusivity and Starfield. Starfield is a universe-sprawling mix of the beloved Mass Effect series, ingredients of Star Wars, otherworldly culture, and a flavor of 60s-era space wonder that dotted the cinema and television adaptation of space travel a generation ago. The wonder of mankind pressing on to worlds beyond our own was a new dream for humans half a century ago, but now is becoming a reality as Starfield takes cues from modern SpaceX with design liberties of Buck Rogers and early-era Star Trek. No doubt fans are excited about Starfield and have put quite a lot of trust in Bethesda Softworks to deliver an immersive space RPG. But the big question looming over millions of fans is, will it truly be exclusive to Xbox? Recently at Gamescom, Bethesda shared some insight on the Starfield development, but first, Bethesda's Pete Hines was asked about exclusivity for the massive publisher now that they are specifically partnered with Microsoft and Xbox. Months ago, at a focused Xbox and Bethesda partnered announcement event, Phil Spencer put the question to rest by saying,
"If you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. And that's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building, and the creative capability we will be able to bring to market for our Xbox customers. It is going to be the best it's ever been for Xbox after we're done here."
But further ambiguity has been extended as Pete Hines has navigated the various deals and pre-existing contracts for Bethesda games to release on all platforms, including the PlayStation consoles, which at this point are a competing platform for Xbox. Pete Hines expressed that he was sorry that PlayStation fans would miss out on future Bethesda titles if they don't own an Xbox or a gaming PC. But in this recent interview at Gamescom 2021, Pete Hines told GameSpot, "I have no idea how to state this in a way when I don't know. I don't know the answer. It doesn't exist. It's not like I don't know it, and I just don't want to tell you. I don't know." Close quote. Bethesda is its own publishing arm, which has their own studios that are functioning and creating games as usual, but under the funding of Xbox Game Studios. Pete Hines comments that as lead public relations for Bethesda, it seems as if he has no idea what future deals will be struck to keep games exclusive to Xbox. Although Xbox's Phil Spencer wants to set a precedence that any games that do not have prior contracts, like the Quake remaster port or Indiana Jones, the remaining games will be exclusive to platforms where Game Pass exists. Pete Hines knows that Xbox's objective is to make Game Pass a bigger platform than even just an Xbox console set. And although Xbox wants Game Pass everywhere, it may or may not come to a PlayStation console. He says, "There are Xbox brands that exist on other platforms first and foremost. I think that it's important to note Minecraft didn't just stop existing on anything once Mojang was bought by Xbox. It is a massively played game on all of these other platforms. It's not a sorry you're never going to get to play anything by Bethesda again. Certainly there are going to be things that you're not going to be able to play on PlayStation." Close quote. This further reinforces that there will be legacy remastered games that remain on PlayStation, like the Skyrim remaster set that is coming this year, and outliers such as Indiana Jones that most likely has a clause in the contract from Disney that the game releases on all platforms, as that game was under contract long before Xbox acquired Bethesda in early 2021. But Starfield is a game that is coming to Xbox first in the wave of newly released IPs from Bethesda and Xbox, and has quite clearly locked Starfield down as an exclusive title. Pete adds to the further ambiguity. Starfield, it was announced as a thing that's an Xbox exclusive. I don't know if I would go so far as to say you're done ever playing stuff on PlayStation, but again, I don't know the answer to that right now. Close quote. Pete Hines doubles down that Starfield is in fact set as an Xbox exclusive, but the team has many more games in the works, and the announced titles like Redfall are also marketed as exclusive to Xbox. Aaron Greenberg, head of Xbox marketing, states, "I want to be careful. I know it's a question people care a lot about. It's also a tricky one for us to answer because frankly, it can get sensationalized on the internet." Aaron Greenberg mentioned that Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda was driven by a desire to beef up the company's first-party portfolio with an eye toward giving Xbox players the best experience. That said, Aaron Greenberg acknowledged that he is mindful and thoughtful about the way in which Microsoft's deal with Bethesda affects players on all platforms. In actuality, Xbox games are released nearly everywhere on PC, playable on multiple Xbox consoles and mobile screens. xCloud and Game Pass are much bigger than the Xbox console sets, with potential to reach more players than even popular consoles. Apple did not want Game Pass on their devices, and Xbox was able to find a way to get Xbox game streaming on iOS regardless. This means that talks behind the scenes with Xbox leadership, Pete Hines included, are pointed towards getting Game Pass on PlayStation, whether Sony is fully cooperative or not. After all, if gamers want to access something in the tech world, they will happily join Game Pass, even if it is fixtured into a PlayStation console, giving you the full Xbox experience on a PS5. These are murky waters, and for years, Xbox has been telling their customers and the rest of the gaming world that if they don't want an Xbox, they have other options to enjoy the ecosystem. Starfield is one of the biggest games coming in 2022 and highly anticipated by fans to see and feel how the space RPG will play in the coming months. And that exclusivity comes into question many times as PlayStation fans want to experience Starfield on their preferred platform. Bethesda has still said very little about the game, and since it is a brand new IP with only some features and mechanics evolved from other known titles like Elder Scrolls or Fallout, fans are hungry for any information on the world they will soon explore. What Bethesda has revealed for Starfield's new open universe hub worlds.
Behold Aquila City, the capital of the Freestar Collective, a loose confederation of 3 distinct star systems. The city itself is home to a variety of people, but they all have one thing in common. They believe in the sanctity of personal freedom and individuality. Aquila City is walled for a reason, and stepping outside those walls means facing the deadly Ashta, alien predators that are a cross between a wolf and a velociraptor. What you're looking at here is the pleasure city of Neon. The Xenofresh Corporation built a giant fishing platform on a rather nondescript aquatic world. They wanted to catch fish until they discovered a fish with psychotropic properties. They could make way more money selling a drug than they could fish. That drug is Aurora and is legal only on Neon. People come from all over to experience it and everything else Neon has to offer. Hi, I'm Emil Pagliarulo, Design Director of Bethesda Game Studios. What you're looking at here is the spaceport of the city of New Atlantis, the capital city of the United Colonies, or UC, the most powerful, established military and political faction in the game. The city is a true melting pot, and its residents come from every race, creed, and ethnicity. In a lot of ways, New Atlantis is a true reflection of the future of our world.
That will appeal to masses in gaming where few titles have nailed the space exploration. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I know it was pretty long, there was a lot of stuff to cover, but I was very excited as I grabbed some information about Starfield last week, and then it folded into this new update about Starfield exclusivity and what Bethesda's doing. Now, it's important to realize what's going on with PR, and there are a small number of fans that care about exclusivity, and it's something that they're very concerned about, but Xbox also has to look at a massive, wide audience of players across all different platforms that just want to play games, so they want to be able to provide them a place for them to play and a communication of what's coming. But I, myself, I want to know what's going on with exclusivity, and I think it's still going to be a little bit dicey as we wait for information as games come out, and it really will be a case-by-case basis. If you end up enjoying this video and looking at the footage and the visuals that they provided for Starfield, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content. I put out content weekly. Also, I have the X&C podcast that I do on Mondays. If you're not in podcasts, that will be there on the channel. You can just wait for the production videos. I want to do a couple of those every week because news is starting to ramp up for what's coming this holiday. So it's time to be excited. People are going to be sharing what they're excited about and what they are waiting to play. And then there's going to be the people that are wondering, where was Xbox all this time? But as long as you're in the comment sections, please keep it constructive. And as always, be nice.